We're live from Sphinx Drive once again with live coverage of the first league meeting between Coventry Sphinx and Bedworth United. Liam Cook with you here in the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel for a thrilling afternoon of pitching in Northern Premier League action. And it's an odd one for me because it's the first time I've ever come up against one of my old clubs. So forgive me if I get a little bit philosophical or emotional about this one, but we are in for a cracking day. Coventry Sphinx hoping to bounce back from a tough afternoon against highly funded opposition in Spalding United on Saturday. Let's take you through the team news, kicking off with our visitors of Bedworth United, starting for the Greenbacks today. Number 1, Sam Lomax. Number 2, Chris Cox. Number 3, Luke Rowe. 4, Elliot Parrott. 5, Josh Endell. Number 6, Joseph Magunda. Number 7, Ryan Moore. Number 8, Ashley Salmons. Number 9, Corey Burke. 10, the captain, William Grocott. And number 11, former Sphinx man, Leo Stone. Substitutes for Bedworth, number 12, another Sphinx alumni, Reese Blackmore. Number 14, Niall Rowe. 15, Brady Middleton. 16, William Edgenguele, formerly of Coventry City, of course. And number 17, Liam Murphy. And for the Sphinx, number 1, Zach Hedge. Number 2, Joe Percy. 3, Callum Martin. Number 4, Luke Downs. Number 5 is Lewis Guest. Number 6, Callum Whiteside. Number 7, Jack Downs. Number 8, the captain, Callum Woodward. Number 9, Dylan Parker. 10, a first competitive start for Antonio Cristofaro. And number 11, Max Johnson. Substitutes for Coventry Sphinx, number 12, Lee Phillips. 14, Dowie Peblinski. Number 15, Sam Ellis. And a potential debutant at number 16, former Sphinx youngster, arriving on a two-way from Barwell, Ralphie Penton. It's Derby Day at Sphinx Drive. The first league meeting between these new rivals. There's been altercations in the cup before. That's this the first time that Sphinx and Medef beat at step 4. It's going to be Bedworth to kick things off, kicking from left to right in green and white. Coventry Sphinx in their usual strip of sky blue and white. Let's get this party started underway at Sphinx Drive. Guests heading away from the edge of the zone penalty area, sent back into the danger zone by the big number 4 for Bedworth United, that being Elliot Parrott, former club captain at Bedworth United. Cox sliding in, trying to get one in on Callum Martin. Percy sent high into the sky. Stone on the far side of the field. He's going to get a little bit of stick from the Sphinx faithful today, leaving the club in the summer to join Bedworth. Salmons. Cox calling for it, charged down by Max Johnson. Percy with the interception. Woodward. Oh, good one towards his centre-back, Lewis Guest. Guest recovers. Whiteside away. Put down by Salmons. Over to Cox, now playing as a right back for Bedworth United. Had stints at Nuneaton and Tamworth. Cox under pressure. Slides up to Parrott. Handball claims against Callum Whiteside. Referee says nothing doing as Sphinx have got it back. Parker looking to flick it on, back where it came from by Magunda. Callum Woodward for the Sphinx. Holding off the pressure from behind by Parrott. Cristofaro looking to make an impact on his first start for the club. Gets the first shot of the match away, but the Colossus between the 6, Sam Lomax, with a comfortable save. Biggest crowd of the season here at Sphinx Drive for this local derby. Magunda to Cox. Pressure from behind by Cristofaro. Launches it upfield. Burke. And he was being held back by Lewis Guest, allowing Whiteside to chop across. Out for a throw level with the penalty area. Cox is going to take it. He needs the ball first. Slight delay in play. Cox is ready for it now. Ignores the short option, goes towards Magunda. Beaten mid-air by Guest. Parrott returns to Cox. Two leading figures in the Bedworth team. Cross charge down by Jack Downs. Out for another throw, virtually the same position. Cox with the run up again. And the referee sees something in the area that he doesn't like. A little bit of head-to-head stuff there between Guest and Magunda. And Jack Downs being the calming influence there. Whoever thought you'd see that? Cox. So it's Magunda again, diving header by Guest, who goes down to the floor. Martin away. Christopher looking to send Parker on his way. Lunging mid-air by Endel, sends it out for a throw, but Sphinx are knocking on Bedworth's door. Cristofaro. With Downs, crossing opportunity, turns away from Luke Rowe on the opposite side to his used to. Oh, and Callum Woodward pokes it through the defence. No one home except for Lomax. Moore. Burke, ran to his own player there, Leo Stone. Cristofaro looking upfield for Dylan Parker. Was he trying to trip the goalkeeper? We're going to have a job. Lomax is, I believe, 6'11". Cox. Chips it right for Burke. Corey Burke down line. Here's Moore. Grokert switches the play over to Luke Rowe. Stone taking us opposite number 11 in Johnson. It's going to be Rowe. Deflected effort out for a corner. 5 minutes gone at the Sphinx Industrial Supplies Arena. Coventry Sphinx 0, Bedworth United 0. And for the first time using the brand new Coventry Sphinx commentary headset, purchased this week. Bit of crowding the Loney goalkeeper Zach Hedge. As it's whipped in by Grokert. And a good strong header away at the near post by Guest. Salmons picks up the seconds. Moore. Trying to put it back into the area, which he did, but it bounces harmlessly out for a goal kick. And the referee just checking on the Bedworth centre-back Josh Endel, seeing if there was potentially a cut on the face of the number 5, if he's okay to continue. Hedge down the centre of the park. Parker flying in for a bit. Rowe who nods it on. Downs returns it to sender. Endel. Johnson up there, head across by Woodward. Quick thinking from the skipper. Parker. Now Woodward playing further up the field this weekend due to absences. Is attempt to find Percy in the penalty area, deflected out by Endel and out for a throw. Well, there's no professional action today. We'll let you know what's going on elsewhere in our own league. In by Percy. Didn't quite reach Cristofaro. Salmons turns away and lobs it out. Right side to Johnson. Martin has to go some to get there ahead of Moore and hooks it to this near side. Cox will keep it in. Didn't quite have the legs to go out of play. Magunda. Now with Endel. Rowe receives on the left. One of 4 changes for Bedworth today. Leo Stone. Driving through the midfield. There's space on the right-hand side for Chris Cox. Familiar face in these parts. Cross nodded clear by Whiteside. Cristofaro nearly caught by Grokert, but escapes. Johnson deflected ball, only collected by Rowe. Pirouettes away from Dylan Parker. Just kind of calm things down now with Magunda. Cox closed down by Jack Downs. Salmons to Burke. Through the legs of Downs. And a right chuckle there from Jack Downs. As Bedworth retreat back to Lomax. The man mountain between the sticks. Cox up for it. Great leaping ability as always from Cox, but it's his old Coventry United teammate Luke Downs who's on the end of it. Jack Downs lobs it upfield, but it's a straightforward gather for Lomax on the edge of his area. Blasts it to the left. Good first touch from Luke Rowe. Burke is the target. It's nodded back to his own goalkeeper by Lewis Guest, and Hedge has to sprint over to keep it in, but has done so. One final score to bring you from the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. Game kicking off at, I believe, around 1 o'clock. And AFC Rushden Diamonds lost by 3-1 at home to Corby. It's not been a promising start to the season for Rushden Diamonds. Downs, that could be a promising ball for Dylan Parker, who's just a couple of yards behind as he floated it over the back line. Lomax came out to meet it. Salmons anchoring the midfield, headed across by Moore. Burke stabs it into the ground, appeals for a foul, but Guest has got there first. Referee says nothing doing. Luke Rowe. Ashley Salmons. Cox screaming for it on the right. He's been given space. Quickly closed down, however, by Martin. Chance to turn and strike for Stone! Oh, wouldn't that have been a story? Deflected over the crossbar. Stone looking to get one over on his old club. Last time he was at this venue, he was celebrating a league title. Now, he's looking to take 3 points. It's going to be Rowe to whip it in. The obvious target in there would be Elliot Parrott. It's towards Parrott. Glancing header wide to the left. During my time, Bedworth, the tried and tested routine from corners and free kicks was Rowe takes it. Elliot Parrott scores it. You've also got the leaping ability of Chris Cox to factor in. Another player that I've had the fortune to cover for quite a while. Hedge distributes upfield. It's over Dylan Parker, who was pushing into the back there of Endel. Rose pass charged down, and Coventry Sphinx will be able to put Bedworth under pressure, but they do have a throw the away side. Rowe thought about going back to the goalkeeper and thinks again and throws it back to him. Not allowing Sphinx to dispossess the greenbacks. Joseph Magunda at centre-back. That's a good header away. Callum Martin nodded it into touch. Moore was waiting for it. Not as proactive as he needed to be. Ryan Moore. Cox hooks it up onto the head of Guest. Burt was waiting for it. Magunda, it's bounced out for a better throw. Taken out of position by Magunda, but he has found Lomax. Rowe gets there ahead of Parker. Luke Rowe in Sphinx territory, but he's being forced out by Messrs Woodward and Jack Downs. Endel's going to have to play it back to the goalkeeper, but Cristofaro is closing him down. Lomax has got to clear, and he left it a little bit too late. He's only found Parker, who goes for goal. It's drifting wide, but Magunda will collect before it goes out for the goal kick. Groker. More heads off the back of Martin's head, nodded into the ground by guest Luke Downs. Right side lobs it away. Or good touch by Magunda. He's going to have to go home here and does under pressure from Cristofaro. And that's Lomax under pressure who clears with Dylan Parker lurking menacingly and more trying to slow down play by putting the ball out of reach of Callum Martin. Martin's got the ball now. Coming up to the 15-minute mark, it's still scoreless at Sphinx Drive. Martin plays a 1-2 with Woodward. It's back to Callum Woodward. Along the left-hand side it goes, but Chris Cox gets his head on it. Parrott out-muscled by Martin. Great run from Callum Martin and lunging in his old teammate Leo Stone. He had to stop the Sphinx man somehow. It wasn't legal, but it was effective. Plenty of green and blue waiting on the edge of the penalty area for Callum Woodward's delivery. Downs is making the race towards Whiteside. No, down by Whiteside, but lofted away by Moore. Stone looking to match the run of Burke. Challenge in from Callum Martin, who got the final touch. It was deflected out off Corey Burke. Well worked from Callum Martin at left back. Called into action once again. Just the injury to Jordan Hayward, who was playing further upfield on Saturday. Martin. High ball only as far as Magunda. Salmons. Luke Rowe takes it on for Bedworth. Down the left side for Leo Stone, looking to turn away from Percy. Still Percy and Stone battling for it. Salmons can only find Luke Downs on the left side of the penalty area. Cleared as far as Endo. Lost it towards Rowe. Headed clear by Percy, but Bedworth are not giving up on this. Here's Groker, the captain. The old chip pass. Again, Luke Downs collects. Clears as far as his old teammate, Chris Cox. Moore. Now with Salmons. Good pressure from Cristofaro, trying to force Bedworth back. Parrott, and it's back into their own half with Magunda. Good pressing from Sphinx. Grokut. Parrott across to Salmons. Bedworth will have to be patient. That's a brilliant ball to Luke Rowe. Handball claims against Callum Woodward as he sives past Luke Rowe, who's looking for delivery into the penalty area from the left. Referee says nothing doing, and Woodward sticks it out on the far side. Throw level with the box for the travelling Greenbacks, who haven't had to travel that far. Stone returns to Rowe. Back with Stone. And a strong challenge in from the side by Joe Percy. He's looking left, but he goes right instead to Dylan Parker. Bounces kindly for Magunda, who looks to thump it upfield for Rowe, and Rowe a couple of yards behind it. Bounces out just shy of the Sphinx box. Now, sadly, this is the last bit of action you'll hear on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel for just under 2 weeks. As there is a game between Sutton Coldfield Town and Coventry Sphinx on Saturday, but sadly I won't be here. Should be back in time for the Quorn match the following Saturday, so apologies for that. Salmon's challenged by Jack Downs, but holds him off long enough to distribute to Cox. Here's Moore on the right-hand side, overlap being made by Cox, but Martin not allowing Moore to get it away. Has to go down line with Parrott. Parrott falls back to Magunda. He's got Parker lurking menacingly, but switches the play to Luke Rowe in space. Rowe to Grocott. Now driving forward is Salmons. Deflected through for Leo Stone. Stone's not going to think twice. And again, it is a Sphinx man who turns it behind for the corner. Stone not afraid of taking a chance from range, but he's not finding a way through his old teammates. Today's show, as always, sponsored by Cahill Contractors. Thank you very much for your support, lads. And our amazing gantry here provided by Sphinx Industrial Supplies. Well, Hedge is being crowded out by, I believe that's Endel in there. Referee, I believe, forcing Endel away, but now Magunda's going to get it there. And Burke behind too. In by Rowe, Hedge comes for it, punches up. And that's a wayward effort by Grokut, the captain. Went first time on the volley, but it's ended up closer to the corner flag. And Callum Whiteside has gone down injured. He's going to need some support here. And the physio being called over. If Whiteside can't continue, we'd imagine that Dawid Pablinski would be the first man called upon. Amongst the subs today, Pablinski, as well as Lee Phillips, Sam Ellis, and new recruit Ralphie Penton. While there is a break in play, let's take you through some of the current scores in the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. Final score from earlier, of course, AFC Rushden Diamonds 1, Corby Town 3. Anstey Nomads 2, Gresley Rovers 0, Boldmere St Michael's 0, Sporting Cowser 0, Cambridge City 0, Spalding United. Well, let's just tell you, they're all 0-0 apart from Anstey Nomads and Gresley Rovers. So that was a quick one. It's Cambridge City playing Spalding, Coleshill at home to Sutton Coldfield, Hinckley hosting Quorn, Rugby against Harbour Town, Shepshed versus Loughborough, and Walsall Wood versus Lye. It's all local derbies today, of course it being a bank holiday, and there has just been a goal in the match between Rugby Town and Harbour Town, and it is new signing Messiah McDonald who has put Rugby in front. So Rugby Town lead there against Harbour Town. Whiteside still receiving treatment. No sign of Pablinski getting ready just yet. And we'll see another former Coventry Sphinx alumni amongst the supporters here. Rich Blythe, not named in the squad today. Whiteside is back on his feet, but of course as he has received help from the physio, he is going to have to leave the field for around 30 seconds. So Sphinx momentarily down to 10. Will we stand fast if they're to equalise before half-time? We've already had 1 minute of added time. We'll be going off air for a quick break here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel at half-time. We'll just be muting the microphone so you don't need to go anywhere. Hedge. Parker backed into Magunda, and Magunda got the better of him mid-air. Salmons. Stone leaves it for Rowe. Corey Burke holding off Whiteside's challenge. Stone driving towards the net, looking to double his money here. The shot blocked by Guest, who lunges in on Rowe and gets another block in. Johnson trying to head it away. Brought back to the Greenbacks' possession by Parrott. Plays a 1-2 with Salmons. Grokut. 1-2 with Rowe. They're being forced back towards their own territory, but not fielded by Luke Rowe. A tangle between Elliot Parrott and Percy. Percy seeming to grab the arm. Yellow card for the Sphinx right back. Slightly harsh. But it will be a free kick, a chance to whip it in from the left in what will surely be the last move of the first half. I wouldn't be surprised if we're in for a little bit of rain after half-time. The skies do look rather grey. Cards are back in the referee's pocket. And Will Grokert has the opportunity to provide goal number 2 for Bedworth. Before the break, it's straight down Hedges' line of sight, and it's an easy catch for Hedge. Quickly throws out to Antonio Cristofaro. Challenge in from Stone, but the seconds fall to Luke Downs. Martin, Sphinx running out of time here. That's a lovely cut back on Chris Cox. Downs across the wide side. There isn't time for Sphinx to have another go. The half-time whistle blows, and Coventry Sphinx, for the second time this weekend, do go into the break behind, but it is only the one. This match far from over, far from unassailable for the Sphinx, but they've got to rally in the second half. They need more up top. But for half-time here at Sphinx Drive, it's Coventry Sphinx 0. Bedworth United 1. We're going off there in just a few seconds, but before we do, we'll take you through the current scores in the Pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. So here are the current scores. Obviously, final score from earlier: Russian and Diamonds 1, Corby Town 3. It's the latest scores now: Anstey Nomads 3, Gresley Rovers 0, Boldmere St Michael's 0, Sporting Cowser 0, Cambridge City 0, Spalding United 1, Coleshill Town 0, Sutton Coldfield 1, Hinckley LRFC 0, Quorn 0, Rugby Town 1, Harborough Town 0, Shepshed Dynamo 1, Loughborough Dynamo 0, and Walsall Wood 0, Light Town 0. Those are the current scores in the Pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. We're going off there for half-time for around 10 minutes, so join us for the second half at 4 o'clock. And we're back for the second half here at Sphinx Drive in the Pitching In Northern Premier League Midlands. Coventry Sphinx 0, Bedworth United 1, the current score. And we're about to get into the second half, even though there was a little bit of an altercation, altercation I should say, at half time. But cooler heads have now prevailed. And we are underway for the second half. No changes from what we can see to the personnel. Throw up line to Ryan Moore. Muscled into touch there, Callum Martin and Callum Woodward teaming up. So they'll be taken right in front of the Coventry Sphinx technical area, housing Sean Thomas and John Woodward. Launched upfield, Martin not back where it came from. Cox, the former Coventry United captain. And Woodward turns it away under pressure from Elliot Parrott, who's a former club captain of Bedworth United. Handball claims against Moore, referee says no. Moore. Elliot Parrott. Grocott gets it back. And Martin, quick thinking to intercept from Chris Cox. Ball intended for the Bedworth right back. Sent as far as Lomax between the sticks. Lomax thumps it to the right. Cox up for it. Cox nods it on, but it's over Moore. Downs receives from Guest. Parker's offside, can't interfere with play, but Cristofaro can. Closing in, but safely back to the goalkeeper. Oh, a little bit closer than Lomax would have liked. That's with Rowe. Grocott. Floated upfield for Moore. He'll get there in front of Callum Martin. Down line, Cox. Will he whip it in? Now played across to Salmons. Now Grocott. Space across for Chris Cox. Cox. Oh, and how on earth has Elliot Parrott missed that? A simple touch over the line was all that was needed for Elliot Parrott. But he somehow sent it wide to the far post. Oh, as if he was trying to send it back across hedge. Well, Parrott is not going to be pleased with himself there. A player of his quality should be burying a chance like that. Towards Woodward. Cox wins that aerial duel. Luke Downs bundled over in the melee. And Coventry Sphinx have got a throw, but Sean Thomas wants a bit more than that. And Thomas being ordered away from the touchline by the referee. The return ball from Woodward from the throw wasn't what was needed, and Bedworth are back on it. A free kick against Burke. I think it was leaning into the side of Lewis Guest. Burke was then sent to the ground. He wants the free kick for himself. It's taken quickly by Guest. Whiteside. Floats it right. Percy nods it on. Phillips will chase. Dylan Parker can only find touch. Goal kick for Bedworth United. Floats towards the right. Kept in by the head of Cox. And Moore out-tricks himself there. Over a kick into touch. Just shy of the Willie Nibbs Memorial stand. Woodward. This ball pinballs through the midfield and Elliot Parrott collects. Moore across to Leo Stone. He's already got one to his name. Waiting for the overlapping run of Rowe. Is he? No, he's going to the right. Parrott had that golden opportunity to make it 2-0 earlier on. And Moore looking to meet the return ball from Grocott, but didn't have the legs on him. And safely back with Hedge. Jack Downs. Johnson beats Endor mid-air. Now it's with Parker. He's got options on the left. Cristofaro to strike it! Side netting. Best chance by far that Sphinx have been able to muster in the first 50 minutes at Sphinx Drive. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Guest heads it on for Cristofaro. Parker's up there with him. Cristofaro on a one-man mission here. Still going Antonio Cristofaro and Lomax has to get down to it. Not easy for a man of his size. Bit of fight now in the Sphinx team. Lomax. Over Burke, headed on by Whiteside. Jack Downs, the target was Parker, but cut out by Luke Rowe. And now sending Burke on the run down the left-hand side. Whiteside hooks it back where it came from. Cushioned down by Downs. Johnson floated over the back line. It's going to be too close to the goalkeeper for Dylan Parker, and Lomax does pick it up. Salmons finds Chris Cox. He's familiar with this ground from his days at Coventry United. Cox. Grocott picks out Stone, the former Sphinx man. Takes it past Percy. Leo Stone couldn't keep that one down. Conversation between the Downs brothers there, the midfield duo. Callum Woodward intervening too. Hedge. Cristofaro's there on the left-hand side, but just grazes over his head. I think we can call that a hedge trimmer. Throw. Gets to the head of Callum Martin. Whiteside. Under pressure, had no choice but to send it out over the stand. Sphinx have had more of the attack in this second half, in the opening 7 minutes or so. It's Bedworth on the march now with Chris Cox and his throw-in. Moore returns to Cox. Moore bundled over from behind by Callum Martin. A soft free kick to give away for Coventry Sphinx. And that will be a free kick to come in from the right, and it's taken short. Grocott. Stone making himself available at the far post. It's over Burke. Head out as far as Salmons. Parrott. Elliot Parrott, Olak run being made by Stone. That's with Luke Rowe. Back to Parrott. Across to Grocott, the captain. Acres of space for Cox on the far side, and Cox is picked out. Now he's got Martin for company. Salmons. Luke Rowe. Launches it to the right. Moore's going to have a job to keep that one in, but he has done, and he's beaten Martin to the punch. Cox is the centre of Salmons, who wants options. Stone being held by Luke Downs. Moore, Salmons, lunging by Woodward. Prolongs the assault, and Salmons falls all the way back into the centre circle. Brilliant pressure from Coventry Sphinx. They'll come back with Rowe. Moore couldn't control. Whiteside's got to try and clear. Loses out to Parrott. It's Burke who has a go, but it rolls into the grateful grasp of Hedge. Endell nods the goal kick into the centre circle. Downs. Moore is first to it. And Burke, you can see, he was trying to wrestle his way past Guest, which he did, but sent Guest to the deck, which is not an easy thing to do. And we're getting set for the first substitution for Coventry Sphinx. That looks like Dawid Pablinski's coming on. Perhaps a change in formation. They could be about to go free at the back and push the right backs a little further upfield. A higher line would help. Hedge. Woodward being held by Magunda. It's way as far as Luke Downs. Stone takes it into the path of his old teammate Whiteside. But Stone not giving up on it. Whiteside turns away from the Bedworth winger. And Woodward's been sent off his feet twice by Magunda off the ball. So he's going to continue with Downs. Percy almost slipped from the ball. Whiteside finds Downs in the centre circle, looking left. Cristofaro tracks back. Antonio Cristofaro, and again Magunda has pushed Callum Woodward to the ground. That's the third time those two have clashed off the ball in the space of the last 30 seconds. Percy. And the ball to Johnson, cut out by Parrott. Johnson has got to the seconds. Up to the chest of Parker. Dylan Parker down line with Max Johnson. Sphinx need that little sprinkle of magic to get back into this. And it's flicked over by Johnson. Jack Downs shielded into touch by Endel. And the referee wants a word with Joseph Magunda. Didn't give the free kick. But he is going to have a word with the big number 6. And the first substitution of the match. It's Max Johnson leaving the field, and he's being replaced by, as we thought, Dawid Peblinski. Slightly surprising decision to see the attacker withdrawn for a defender. But it may be that Percy and Martin push further up the field. Well, in fact, Peblinski, is he going up front? He is. Dawid Peblinski, the centre-back, is going up front with Cristofaro and Dylan Parker. I must say, I didn't see that one coming. Grokert. His cross deflected out for a corner by Luke Downs. Grokert standing over it. Can you find the green shirt in the danger zone? Towards Parrott. Hedge brought it down, dropped it and gathered again. Hedge. Peblinski's up for it, gets his head on that. Parker couldn't get to the seconds. Magunda, and a hasty clearance by Lomax. Flies out of play. Peblinski up there for the long balls from the back. The throw just shy of the Sphinx halfway line, and there it goes. Nodded back to Percy by Rowe. Luke Downs. Charged down by Grokert. Grokert switches the play, and Martin does well to get his head on that and just send it over more. He was waiting to receive on the right flank. Throw it to Burke. In the corner. He's got Guest and Martin all over him, but he stumbled through. Corey Burke, can he cross? It's nodded away by Joe Percy as Grokert was waiting at the far post. And Percy again slides it out, with Grokert waiting to cross it back in. Burke. Percy in for the challenge, and Sphinx had the throw. A real wrestling match at the far side of the field there between Callum Martin and that's Ryan Moore on the far side. More than for a route into the penalty area, but Martin not willing to let him past. Free kick to the Sphinx. That's not the best of balls from Hedge. Curls out on the left flank. And another change for Coventry Sphinx, and Antonio Cristofaro is being replaced. And coming onto the field, I believe that's the new boy. But no, oh, it's Lee Phillips. Well, he is technically a new boy. I don't think he's played more than one match with Sphinx this season. Didn't see the shirt, no, but it is indeed Lee Phillips who's come on. Endel. So Leo Stone turns away from Joe Percy. Looking to thread it into the penalty area. Burke couldn't reach it thanks to Whiteside. Or towards Lee Phillips, son of the legendary Coventry City man, Dave Phillips. Back where it came from, that clearance by Endel. Downs knotted up, Peblinski's up there. Again, Endel beats in mid-air, but a hand in the back is enough to warrant the referee blowing the whistle for the free kick. Bedworth putting everyone back. As Woodward puts it in. Out comes Lomax. You're not going to beat him in an aerial duel. Good leap. But all he has to do is hop, and he's about 10 foot in the air. Endel. Luke Rowe. Got to Endel. Bedworth not leaving themselves short of the back. Patient play from the Greenbacks. Lomax. Now Josh Endel again. Getting away from David Peblinski, playing as a makeshift striker. Comes across to the far side of the field where Cox is waiting. Salmon's deflected to Cox. Woodward tries to head it away from Grocott, but Burke is up there, nods it down. Luke Downs takes it past Parrott. Martin into the Bedworth half of the field. Down the left-hand side he goes. Launched in by Parker. Good strong header away by Endel. Can Percy get to the seconds? No, he can't. It's Leo Stone whose goal is the difference at the moment. I'm going to take it past Percy. Plays it into the centre circle. No one home for the Greenbacks. Martin all the way back to Hedge. Peblinski up for it, beaten mid-air by Magunda. Control from Callum Woodward in defensive midfield. Cross ball, looking for Percy, but connects with the sternum of Rowe. His clearance charged down. Offside flag raised against Dylan Parker there. And level with their own penalty area, Bedworth have a throw. .25 minutes to go here at Sphinx Drive. Coventry Sphinx 0, Bedworth United 1. Leo Stone's goal, putting the Greenbacks in front. Phillips. Downs nods it into the midfield, at first to it. Here's Salmons. Rowe along the left. In the air by Joe Percy. Jack Downs looking for Peblinski, leaping up his Endel. It's back with Woodward. Now Jack Downs looking to launch it left. Over the head of Chris Cox. That's a brilliant ball, but Cox sticking his boots into the side of Dylan Parker to get the ball away just as it looked like the striker was in. Cleared up towards Berg and the flag is raised for offside against the Bedworth number 9. It's taken quick by Woodward. It was intended for Parker. The two number 7s going head to head there as Downs looks to shield it into touch from Moore, and he's done so. Sphinx have made 2 of their allocated 3 changes. Bedworth haven't made 1 yet. Woodward plays all the way back to Hedge. Bedworth trying to squeeze out. Rowe on the goalkeeper's kick. Percy caught in possession by Stone. Downs intercepts the low ball. Phillips felt he was impeded by Rowe. Referee says nothing doing. Rowe receives from Grokut. Whiteside away again. Moore. He was stumbling on his own, but then made contact with the outstretched leg of Callum Martin. I think Martin's rather unlucky there. Taken short. And Sanders are going to drill it. Didn't find its way past Downs. And Magunda thought he was playing rugby for a moment there. Might be 3 points on another day, but it's not going to be the second goal. The Hedge gets us underway once again with the goal kick. We're 3/4 of the way into this match and Bedworth still lead. Whiteside under pressure from Burt, gets it up to Martin. Lewis Guest looking for help in midfield, but it's Luke Rowe who gets there ahead of Lee Phillips. Stone. Into the penalty area he goes. Croker tries to have it on back to Stone. The defence ensuring that he can't do so. Salmons brings it back, curls it towards the goalkeeper, Hedge dives onto it. Whiteside. Peplinski is up there. Headed back by Rowe. Chest control by Jack Downs. Impetus that Sphinx had in the opening minutes of the second half has wavered a little bit, but Downs will put it across the penalty area, head towards the net by Parker. It wasn't going to cause Lomax a whole lot of trouble. It's wide to the near post. And Grokot's gone down injured. We're going to have a break in play here. And the final change being prepared for Coventry Sphinx. Sam Ellis is getting ready. Impromptu drinks break for both teams. Let's see what's going on elsewhere in the Northern Premier League Midlands. Anthony Nomad's 3, Gresley 0. Bournemouth St Michael's have taken the lead at home to Sporting Cowser. Spalding lead 1-0 at Cambridge City, as do Sutton Coldfield at Coleshill. Still 0-0 between Hinckley LRFC and Quorn. Rugby maintain their 1-goal advantage at home to Harborough. Shepshed 2, Loughborough Dynamo 2. That one's certainly blown into life. And Walsall Wood 0, Lye Town 1. Looks like Grokot's heading off. He is. First substitution for Bedworth. And Sphinx say hello to an old friend, Reese Blackmore, formerly of these parts. So Reese Blackmore on for the captain, William Grobert. And Grobert hands over the armband to Ashley Salmons. Lomax. Whiteside wins that aerial duel. It's on the head of Cox. Headed back where it came from by Whiteside. Headed back where it came from by Cox. There's Guest up for the header. Who's going to bring it down? There's another header from Salmons. Blackmore. Thumped upfield by Magunda. It's over the head of Burke, and Hedge will collect that one. Sphinx have got to get themselves upfield. They've got less than 20 minutes to find an equaliser. Pablinski's up there, beaten mid-air by Magunda. Guest does it towards Pablinski again, and again the big number 6 get the better of him. Stone. Burt checks that he's onside. Well, the flag stayed down, but then it was raised. Burt saw that the flag was down, pegged it up the field, and then was shocked to discover that the flag was raised as soon as he averted his eyes. Whiteside. Wayward ball through the midfield collected by Moore. But Better can do nothing with it. It's only as far as Guess. Now Luke Downs to Jack Downs. Towards the right flank. Luke Rowe heads it upfield. Brought down by Blackmore. Turns away from his old skipper Callum Woodward. Chest control by Burke upfield. Down line with Luke Rowe at left back. Salmons. Turns to Rowe. Blocked by the shoulder of Joe Percy. Here comes the last change for Coventry Sphinx, and it is Luke Downs being replaced by Sam Ellis, a holding midfielder for an attacking one. Downs. Off the field. And it's on. That's the last roll of the dice for Coventry Sphinx. Will it work? Well, that cross from Rowe didn't. It's straight into the hands of Hedge. Woodward. Martin gets onto it. And tripped by a high leg by Moore. He'll be lucky to stay out of the book for that one. And he doesn't. It's a yellow card for the man who set up Bedworth's opening goal, Ryan Moore. Saying it's been a derby. The only really feisty moment was at half-time itself. Delivery, it's over Pablinski. Guest is there, got the header on it, but kept out by Lomax. The big goalkeeper had to get down low to keep out the effort from the Sphinx vice skipper. Magunda gets it away just in time for Pablinski can get involved. But return by Woodward. Pablinski does beat Magunda to it this time. Now Sam Ellis. Space on the right-hand side for Percy. Here's Jack Downs. Martin. Woodward. Quick passing, maybe a bit too quick. Ellis unable to bring it to his feet, and now Salmons is away. Reese Blackmore. Lunge in by Callum Woodward. He's heading in the book. Yellow card for the captain. But Blackmore's done his job there. Free kick taken about 7 yards into Sphinx territory by Joe Magunda. Taken short to Salmons. Lost it in. Brought down well their hedge. I think he was looking for Chris Cox to the far post, but it didn't reach him. Hedge taking his time. Doesn't want to waste this goal kick. Down the centre it goes. Peblinski out-muscled by Endo. It's nodded down by Lee Phillips, and Peblinski just shoves Stone out of the way. Lee Phillips. Can he get the ball in? Well, he's got the corner out of it. It was charged down by Rowe. Now we're talking. Can Sphinx get themselves into this game? Well, Lomax is going to be careful. He doesn't headbutt the crossbar to try and get on the end of this cross. As Woodward prepares to send it in, this could be a crucial moment for Coventry Sphinx in this match. It's Woodward. Lomax comes for it. Didn't reach it. Magunda heads it clear as far as Lee Phillips. Woodward's with him. Phillips looking for the cross. Oh, it's a high one. It's an awkward one. It flashes towards the far side of the field. It's just kept in by Parker. Now Jack Downs keeps it alive for the Sphinx. Hassled and harried by Burke. Parker. O'Loughlin being made by Downs. Downs picked out. Jack Downs hits it in. Peblinski's there, but a diving header out by Ryan Moore. And it's going to be another corner. The Sphinx faithful are starting to believe. Plenty of movement in there. Woodward in towards the far post, headed up and over by Whiteside. Is it going to be one of those days? Just over 10 minutes to go. And it's still Bedworth in the lead, thanks to the former Sphinx man, Leo Stone. Lomax drifts towards the right. Guest connects with the header. Peblinski on for Parker. He's got options to the right, Dylan Parker. Ellis was the target, not as far as Percy by Luke Rowe. The Bedworth man's gone down injured. Percy on the floor trying to find the teammate. And it's Salmons who's gone down. It's cleared as far as Whiteside, and with the ball not in an attacking scenario, Grocott clearly in pain. It's not Grocott, Salmons I should say. Ashley Salmons, the standing skipper with Grocott now off the field. Not sure the physio is going to be needed on this occasion. In fact, no, she's putting her back down. Guess pointing out to the referee, it's not a head injury. He doesn't have to stop the game. But of course, if the referee does have concerns over the safety of a player, he is entitled to do so. Whiteside. Guest. Downs calling for it on this near side, but it's down the centre of the park, straight to Lomax. And he's going to take his time with this one, picked up with Peblinski putting him under pressure. Front to Rowe. Try to turn away from his man. Rowe into the centre circle. Salmons who's quickly recovered from that injury. Sending Stone through, and Leo Stone is away. Percy tries to keep up with him. And Stone leaves him for dust. Leo Stone! Oh, looking to double his money, but it curls just wide of the far post. Well, next time, Coventry Sphinx are in action next Saturday. Well, this Saturday, technically, as... who's gone down now? I think it's Burke who's gone down. He's gone down holding his head as well, and as it is a head injury, the referee does have to stop the match. As we were saying, next time Sphinx are in action this Saturday. Let me say it again there. Sutton Coldfield Town away. And suddenly there is no coverage of the match from the YouTube side of things. You can find some footage and updates on the Coventry Sphinx Twitter and Facebook pages. Hopefully should be back in time for the Quorn match the following Saturday in the FA Trophy. Well, Burke leaves the field for now. Downs. Here's Callum Whiteside. Sphinx have now gone free at the back with Jack Downs almost acting as a centre-back. Now he pushes further up. Guest. Whiteside. Everyone up for Sphinx and they need every man they can get. Launched up, Downs. And out as far as Ellis. Into the penalty area, lofted up by Magunda. Parrott's header finds Leo Stone. Stone ends the danger for now. Now Burke trying to get there ahead of Whiteside. Whiteside hooks it back upfield off the chest of Reece Blackmore, the former Sphinx man, to another former Sphinx player in Leo Stone, looking for Burke. And a free kick against Burke for a shoulder in on Whiteside. Well, Hedges tells Whiteside to push further up the field. He's going to take this kick. We need a good delivery. 7 minutes to go. Coventry Sphinx needs something special. Hedge. Towards the left side of the penalty area. Guest is up there. Magunda beats Pablinski to it. And a free kick with Pablinski and Magunda colliding mid-air. It's been given in favour of the visitors. And Magunda going down with cramp. Yeah, it might be more serious than cramp as the physio heads over. Two subs warming up, including former Coventry City defender William Ejenguele. It'd be a sound strategy to get a defender on for the Greenbacks. Although they have looked fairly comfortable in this match, it is still only a 1-0 lead. One moment of magic or one mistake could cost Bedworth everything. Excuse me. There is going to be a change here for Bedworth United. It's not Ejenguele coming on. It's we see the shirt number here. I think that's Niall Rowe who's going to be heading on. Well, it is Magunda heading off. We haven't seen the board being shown yet. Number 14, and that is Niall Rowe. One time of Sphinx's neighbours, Coventry United, for a short period. When I say short, I mean one match. So changing for Niall Rowe on for Magunda, and the referee motioning to the Bedworth management. This time is being added on. Whiteside's header into the midfield. Parrott to the head of Guest. And Parrott goes to the ground under the challenge from behind by Jack Downs into the back. And Parrott, as you would expect, is staying down. Bedworth will take every second off the clock that they can. And Jack Downs is going into the book. So we've got just over 4 minutes. So the free kick to come from Ashley Salmons. And with no, the second goal would sign, seal and deliver the 3 points. It's headed away on the edge of the area by Woodward. Thumped on by Parker. Phillips is up there. Missed kick from Rowe, but Endo is there to pick up the pieces. Peblinski's header. Looking for Ellis on the left-hand side, but Salmons turns away from him. Lofted towards the Sphinx area of the park, but sent back. Peblinski was onside according to the referee, but just head it over on that far side of the field for a throw-in, just about level with the Bedworth penalty area. Can Sphinx try and encase the Greenbacks? Scored a goal in similar fashion against Gresley, but of course they had the magic of Matty Shipman that day. Parker, into the box he goes on the left-hand side, needs a route in. Down line with Martin. Thought twice about the effort. Woodward pokes it through. Can Martin get to the return? No, he can't. Chris Cox does the necessaries and it bounces towards the Willingness Memorial stand. It was at the wrong end of the park for the home side. Guest takes a quick throw to Hedge. Could well be his last match in a Sphinx shirt, with Keelan Follow set to return next week. Downs. Rowe's up for it. Rowe gets his head on it. Ellis. Stone caught in possession by Joe Percy, but Stone snatches it back. Hopeful ball down the left-hand side. Whiteside beats Burke to it. And back with Hedge. 2 minutes of normal time to go. Sphinx have got to get a wriggle on here. Guest. And a stumble by Parker. A little push from behind by Chris Cox, and Parker has gone down holding his knee. This is the last thing that Coventry Sphinx need. They're down to their last striker, and they've also run out of subs. He's back on his feet, and a yellow card for, I think that was Burke who got the booking. Woodward. Done away by Parrott. Now Jack Downs. Blackmore takes a tumble. Referee says no foul. And has given the decision to Coventry Sphinx there. It's been given as, I think it's a throw-in. Indeed it is on the far side. Difficult to see from here. 30 seconds of normal time left. Peblinski beaten mid-air by Niall Rowe. Woodward muscled off the ball by Blackmore. Right, to have to play for a throw. Bedworth, everyone back. Sphinx, everyone forward. Launched in by Percy. Guest. Whilst I tried to bring it down but couldn't. Downs runs into his own player, and now Burke on the counter-attack. Bedworth exactly where they need to be. Taking on Martin. Burke gets the throw. And the away fans seeing exactly what they wanted to see. Into added minutes. Not entirely sure how long they'll be. I'd say 3 minutes. Here's the throw upfield towards Burke. Muscled off the ball by Martin. Woodward. Drilled upfield by Guest. Parker's up for it. Gets the header on. Peblinski up with Niall Rowe. And a collision mid-air between the two number 14s. Free kick to Bedworth. Rowe stays down. He's back on his feet. Peblinski could be the next recipient of a yellow card. Precious seconds tick away. Free kick towards the edge of the area, and it's bounced out for a goal kick. Sphinx have got to get up the other end of the park now. Parrott marshalling his players towards the far side of the field where the ball is going to end up. Cox beats Peblinski mid-air. And again, Blackmore can only find touch. New ball introduced as it's launched up towards Peblinski. Woodward smacks it off Parrott. Ellis receives from Whiteside. Peblinski. Challenge in the last ditch from Chris Cox to take it to Rowe. Woodward with the throw-in. Callum Woodward nodded away on the edge of the area by Endel. Guest beats Burke to it. Ellis driving towards the box, took it too close to Elliot Parrott. 3 minutes of added time have gone. Crossfield ball to Joe Percy. Keeps it in right in the corner. Percy's delivery, easy catch for Lomax, and that should be it. Lomax's throw finds Cox on the far side. Aimless ball. Percy should get there ahead of, well, he's going to let it go out for a throw. Lee Phillips tracking back to help out. Up it goes, back where it came from by Rowe. Percy, only as far as Endel, who just sticks his laces through that one. Referee checks the watch as it's brought down by Hedge. Guest. Martin. There's acres of space on the right-hand side for Percy. Here's Jack Downs. Downs, straight down the middle to Lomax, and that kind of sums up Coventry Sphinx's day. Keeper clears. Burke gets his head on that only as far as Whiteside. Cannon Whiteside. Is there one last chance for Coventry Sphinx? Guest is up there. Cox's header. Guest. Couldn't find the teammates, and Parrott upfield to Burke. Dispossessed by Downs. Looking for a route down the left. No one home to help out. Referee checks the watch again. 5 minutes have elapsed. There can't be much left. Whiteside. We're going to float it to the right. Nodded up by Rowe. Leo Stone shields it from Peblinski and finds his way out there of a Sphinx sandwich. Peblinski in from the side. Referee says no. Stone went down too easily. Woodward upfield looking for Lee Phillips. Off the head of Luke Rowe. Oh, and Parker couldn't keep it in. Headed out on that far side. Leo Stone suffering with cramp. His old captain Callum Woodward comes over to help him out. And there is going to be one last change for Bedworth United to take away crucial seconds from Coventry Sphinx. Leo Stone is going to lead the field, and he's going to be replaced by Liam Murphy. It is Stone's goal, which is the difference. Murphy heads across for it's going to be seconds rather than minutes. Rowe shines up the ball with his shirt. Plenty of distance on that one. Burke. Murphy dispossessed by Percy. Coming to the end of a 7th minute of added time. Martin wrestled to the ground by Murphy. And now Salmons They're going to get Bedworth as far away than they can from their own goal. Thumped upfield by Cox. Out for a goal kick. Hedge wants another ball, and he's got one from the joint manager, Sean Thomas. But that's 7 minutes gone. There can't be much more left. Woodward. Almost feels as if we're in the Qatar World Cup, the amount of added time we're playing. But it's good news for Sphinx. They still have hope. It's up towards Guest. Dragged on the edge of the area. Offside flag raised. Guest asking, are you flagging for me? Am I offside? I dare say that's the first time that Lewis Guest has ever been caught offside. Lomax will surely be the last kick. Another check of the watch from the referee, and still we continue. Murphy. Now it's over. The derby is won by Bedworth. But it is a former Sphinx man in Leo Stone who made the crucial intervention in scoring the only goal of the match to haunt his old team. I'm sure this will be a game which won't live long in the memories of the Sphinx faithful, but this rivalry could just be getting started. Final score at the Sphinx Industrial Supplies Arena in the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. Coventry Sphinx 0, Bedworth United 1. And thanks for joining us here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. Sadly, not the bank holiday we were hoping for, but we live and learn. Next time we're on air here on Coventry Sphinx's YouTube channel is the Saturday after next. And that will be against Quorn in the FA Trophy. Sadly, we're not here for the game against Sutton Coldfield, but there will be updates on social media. Let's take you through the final scores before we leave you. Again, thank you very much for your support today. One final score from earlier on was AFC Rushden Diamonds 1, Corby Town 3. Anstey Nomads 3, Gresley Rovers 0. Boldmere held on to beat Sporting Cowser by 1-0. Cambridge City 0, Spalding United 1. Coleshill Town 0, Sutton Coldfield 2. Hinckley LRFC did get the winner against Quorn. That ended 1-0. Rugby Town beat Harborough Town. A big win for Rugby. That was 1-0. Game of the day had to be at Butthole Lane. Love that name, by the way. Shepshed 3, Loughborough 3. And Walsall Wood 0, Lye Town 1. Highlights will be available tomorrow night here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. Sound like Ark right there from open all hours. But thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. Take care.